Hell is the farthest extreme, and we have heaven, which is the closest you can be. Does that help to understand the thought process of what's going on? I hope it helps to answer some of your questions.
I have a question,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Marilyn feels that some of the physical problems that we're experiencing during these times are changes that are being made to our body to prepare us for the ascension. Is she basically correct on that?
You have brought up the very issues that St. Germain is planning to talk on today, Max, so I think we'll just move on and your answers should be, if your answers are not explained with St. Germain, please speak up again.
I'll do that. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Any other concerns? All right, I'm so glad to be here this afternoon, and I will be gone until I see you again, and hopefully you will have learned something this afternoon, and we're going to delve into the same information from another perspective, and so St. Germain will be coming in shortly.
Thank you.
Bye, John.
Goodbye to everybody.
Bye, John.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Good afternoon.
I'm St. Germain, and I am so glad it's a sunny day for you people. Isn't that a treat?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, we like to see you laugh, and that's exactly what we're about, is raising our energy through laughter and, of course, enjoying life. So I hope this afternoon that you can find some enjoyment and some laughter to see the folly of how we've taken our lives so seriously when this was all planned, and guess what, people, you win in the end. So you don't have to worry about the worst is coming. You can actually say the best is coming. All right?
I like that. Yes.
All right. I would like to explain today the dimensions in a very limited way. That would actually take books, but you see, life is about thought in a very small, mad thought. You said to yourself, what would it be like to be as far from the Creator as I can get? What would happen if I did that? And so you found yourself in first dimension. And you were in very heavy density. Very uncomfortable place to be. Very low vibrations. You were rocks, soil, that part of the earth that is of first dimension. And you experienced that. It was not comfortable to stay there. So you said to yourself, I'm going to raise my vibration a little, but you didn't call it vibration or energy at that time. You just said, I want to raise up into a better place. And you found yourself at a later time in second dimension. No longer minerals of the earth or crystals or that part of nature, but you found yourself as trees and birds and animals. And you experienced that part of nature. And as you wanted to raise your vibration or say, I think I'd like something better than this energy is still very dense. Not really comfortable. It's not really what I wanted to create. And you moved yourself into third dimension. Now in third dimension, you became human beings. You had overcome your darker energy and denser energy. But the energy split into duality, as we just discussed earlier. And to experience that energy, it was very easy to find criticism and judgment. And I wanted to say about the energy of criticism and judgment, or people should do this or people should do that. The shoulds are not as severe, but the criticism and judgment goes to the very essence of a person. And so when you are critical of somebody else, you are giving them pain and causing pain for yourself. And you started to understand, I can't judge somebody else because I'm really coming from judging myself. And this is painful. This is uncomfortable. I don't like the illness that comes with it because it's a dis-ease to my body. I want to move in being at ease. I want to move into a higher dimension. And you have spent the last 2,000 years doing this. Little by little. It says in the Bible, precept upon precept. A modern way to interpret that would be step by step. Little increments. You have allowed the changes necessary to move out of the duality into a higher consciousness. People are awakening on the planet. If you are familiar with Maitreya, he has been came from the Himalayas down to the Middle East and has been there for many, many years at this point. He has been the major emphasis besides your own consciousness raising and raising consciousness for the people in the Egypt and other surrounding areas of the planet in that particularly part of geography to wake up and say we don't choose to stay in this victim world. We don't choose to have dictators and we don't choose to have tyrants. We don't choose to be used and abused by governments. We don't choose to be our money stolen from us called taxes and all the kinds of things, ways that it's stolen in other ways. We choose to return to God and our oneness. We choose to have our own sovereignty back. And this awakening has been causing a lot of the Earth's turmoil as Mother Earth is coming back into health and releasing the negativity that was causing her to die. Granted, some of the negativity and earth changes have been maliciously perpetrated, is the kindest way I can put it, from evil, dark hats. But it was necessary that the earth plates leave and move around so that in her growth she could release that energy that was killing her, just as you have to release toxicity in your system. Granted, people, you are being taken care of, and you do not have to fear the worst. Your angels and guides are with you. Some people are fearful of what happened in Japan. Just know that you are protected and being taken care of. And a lot of what is on the news is not accurate. You are so taken care of that the extraterrestrials are busy at work right now, eliminating not only the oil spills in the Gulf and the toxicity from Japan, but helping in all parts of Earth to detoxify. This is a great, great awakening. You might say it is the collective consciousness awakening. It is time to move into a new consciousness. And that's what ascension is about. And as more and more people awaken up to the love that is within, and all the work that Maitreyi has done in that part of the world, because it has to come from there to begin with. But it is filtering through all the countries of the world. Even as I speak in our country, there are people who are not being recognized because the media is still not open to truth. But there is many, many ascended masters working right now to change laws, to change situations so that they are legally going to stand on solid foundation with the Constitution being, again, the basis of this government. Many changes are going on all over the planet. And great help is coming from outside the planet to answer the plea and praise for help. This is a time of awareness. And Einstein had it right when he said energy equals mc squared. You see, the energy of the people, the mass consciousness, the MC, is growing. Growing, growing. The energy of the earth is growing. And it says in the Bible, when two or more are gathered, most of you know about the law of attraction. That attracts the spiritual energy beyond what you humanly have. So as we gather in this group together, our energy is being multiplied more than just an individual person sitting here. And the energy in this room is moving in a higher consciousness and helping to raise the planet's consciousness, and you are a vital part of that. You are an important part of that. Without your awakening to your oneness as God, this planet could not have survival and grow into the Garden of Eden it once was. It would have died. You are the rescue team. You are here to make sure that doesn't happen. You are providing the light, which is the beams out to the grid that surround the earth, that needed to be repaired because of Atlantis blowing up and destroying many parts of the grid. So they could not go into ascension. This has actually been a very long process. It is just not an overnight situation. It was set up long before, and actually part of the plan after Atlantis had its experience, that the masters would come back and create areas on the planet to support the mending of the grid, so this occasion of ascension could even happen. Those places that you call the 7 wonders of the world, places like the pyramids and Stonehenge, were purposely placed, purposely positioned, and purposely necessary to maintain the energy of this planet so that ascension could happen. And smaller areas that are, you might call, secondary, were necessary to substantiate the major grid and continue to mend and heal the energy necessary for ascension of this planet.